That's what I'm hoping will happen again. So I'm gonna sit here and mess with it until I get it. You still see the mute button on there? Bingo. Bingo. What we do? What we do? All right. Cool. 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 Shalom, family. Shalom. Yeah. I mean, man, all praise to the Most High, man. You already know. So let me get my presentation started. Shalom, family. Shalom. I'm gonna turn it off because it's gonna have an echo. Yeah. Welcome in. 50 bad bitches, we welcome in. Yeah. On the man. Hey. Every day on the man. Yeah. Yeah, 50 bad bitches to welcome in. 50 bad bitches to welcome in. Using the cash as an offering. Smoking and drinking and contraband. I'm with the gang only walking in. 20 bad bitches to welcome in. Pushing that Maybach. I want that bad Maybach. Money keep calling me collect. Give it to me while I lay back. Give me a six of the latest. I need to know. Pushing that Maybach. I want it back to back Maybach. Money keep calling me collect. Give it to me while I lay back. In the streets it get dangerous. City late night can get dangerous. Give me a six of the latest. I need to know it's safe, yeah. Show you the hop and skip away. Pull out the coupe and I got it, yeah. Show you the ropes I should wait. I can feel sorry in different days. I'm with the fam on the other. What part of fly don't you understand? What could you do with a couple $100 grand? Run it, I don't move in disguise. They flight, I move in the skies. They stay too close if you look in my eyes. All the homies by my side, so I heard man's belly would try. I'ma let the beat cry. Rolls Royce truck, do suicide. All my life I had to fight. Did I manage to survive? Will I ever find a wife? Gas got me higher than I got a 401k on me, I could go now and retire. Your pussy boy got 9 lives, if you lose one, you'll be fine. Every day, on the man. Chopping man. 50 bad bitches to welcome in. 50 bad bitches to welcome in. Using the cash as an offering. Smoking and drinking and contraband. I'm with the gang only walking in. 20 bad bitches to welcome in. Pushing that Maybach. I want that bad Maybach. Money keep calling me collect. Give it to me while I lay back. In the streets it get dangerous. City late night can get dangerous. Yeah, man. So let's go over Abraham. Talk about Abraham, man. Shalom. I hope everybody all right. Man. We know what's going on. We know what we're dealing with, right? We know what's going on. So I just want everybody to be all right out there. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see him. Patriarch. Okay. So you have the title Abram, and we will eat that. chill, relax. So Abraham, right? Avraham, originally called Abram, or in Hebrew, Avram, flourished early second millennium. Well, we know about the, we dodging hijacks on these dates because we already first the Hebrew patriarch and a figure reverend by the monotheistic religions. So Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So I mean, we already know. We're the high Christianity. We already know this. We have an understanding that other people might not understand, right? So Abraham left Ur in Mesopotamia. Well, we're gonna dodge that hijack too, right? So we really don't know, right? From what we don't know just yet. A lot of man, look, but because in an undesignated land that he later learned was Canaan. Now I've read some things. I've read some stuff, and so you read and you have some perspective when you read stuff. I read some stuff that said that this might not be the case, but I'm not really sure. We don't know really. So it says he obeyed unquestioningly the commands of Hawa, from whom he received promise land. In Judaism, the Jewish people descended from Abraham's son Isaac, born wife Sarah. Similar in Christianity, the we're not going to go. We're going to say use the title. To that is traced to Isaac, near of Isaac is seen shadowing Israel's firstborn son, born of Hagar, who is viewed as a promise, and the prophet Muhammad. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm flopping, man. I'm really belly flopping because I've been doing a lot of reading. Yeah, a lot of time really. I don't want to have y'all move. You guys know about the sacred flower. So, this flower, and um, we know about on. We're gonna get into that, right? Shouts to Big Judah. Shouts to Big Judah. Yeah, gotta respect to the big bro. And yeah, this school. So yeah, let's rock out, man. Let's rock out, man. Let's rock out, man. I just, man, me, man, like, it's been a lot, man. So I approach things lightly. I approach things lightly, man. So, but yeah. So about Abraham, I could really, you know what? Let's read some more about Abraham. It says the critical problem of a biography of, okay, problem of biography of Abraham. There can be no biography of Abraham in the ordinary sense. The most that could be done is to apply the interpretation of modern historical finds to biblical material so as to have a probable judgment as to the background and patterns of events in his life. This is a reconstruction of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Early sections. Yeah, put this in some other brothers that are, realized it. So we understand. Considered virtually unknowable. Okay. It was assumed based on a perceived hypothetical biblical sources narrative were only a and late period. About the dates and, man. So to explain the narrative, were etiology, ethical, to account for various social, I think this is juridical, 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 role, archaeological research made a numerous with the discovery of monuments and documents, many of which date back to the period. We're just getting an understanding of just get a perspective of Avram. We just gonna go through a few. Right. So the excavation royal palace at Mori in an ancient city of the Euphrates. And we're gonna dodge the hijack, for example. Cuneiform tab and juridical, not judicial, but it's judicial texts, and hereby offered exegesis
a new basis which specialists utilize to show that in the biblical fit second millennium, we know the dates, but imperfectly with a later period. A biblical scholar in the 1940s aptly termed rediscovery, the rediscovery of the Old Testament, the rediscovery of the Old Testament. So we know what all this means, right? Thus, there are two main for reconstructing the figure of Father Abraham. The book of Genesis, from the genealogy of Torah, Abraham's father, and his departure from Ur to Haran in chapter 11 to in chapter 25. These archaeological concerning area and era narrative takes place. We don't believe in Abraham, man. I was trying to, everybody been everybody. So the biblical account, according to the biblical account, Abram is exalted of many nations, a native of Ur. Now we start about Ur. We already know what ties in the Ur, who ties in the Ur, and what was going on, or life in Ur. To country where he of a nation he all and 25 years see with life every set his new other companions to the land of Canaan. Right? I live in to generate these and covenant from Hawaii and land a numerous nation. Eventually, he not only has a son, Ishmael, by his wife, maid servant Hagar, but has at 100 old by Sarah, by Sarah, Isaac, who is to be the heir to obey Hawar's command to sacrifice Isaac, a test for his faith, which is not quite to in because Hawar, Avraham. So I know this story. So I'm just getting another perspective. At Sarah's death, he purchases the cave of Machpelah. He purchases the cave. Right. So together with the adjoining ground as a family burying, it is the first clear ownership of a piece of promised land by Abraham and his poverty. Toward the end of his life, he sees that Isaac is on that canonic woman. Abraham dies at the age of 175 to Sarah in the cave of Machpelah. Oh, wow. So we're going to that other picture we already know. Abraham with various characteristics, a righteous man with whole commitment to God, a man of peace, and settling a boundary dispute with his nephew Lot. Compassionate, he argues and bargains with the people of more, and welcomes 3 visiting angels. Acting warrior, he rescued and his family from the raiding party, and an unscrupulous lie to save his own of Sarah, and lets her be picked by the Egyptian pharaoh for his harem. He has both that and strength, weaknesses, and needs. The Genesis narrative in the light of God Abraham, the son of Abraham, age is all praise the Most High, man. All praise, man. All praise, man. All praise, man. I've been doing a lot of studying, man, and it's a lot, man. Just about the Druids. I'm learning about the Druids. Um, the saga of Abraham unfolds between two landmarks: the Exodus from Ur of Chaldeans, or Kasdim, of and the of or the burials in the tradition particularly firm on this point. The Hebrew text, in fact, locates the departure specifically at Or Kasdim. Who else is from Or Kasdim? Oh man, I didn't have that on the whole time. I had it on the whole time. Man, hold up. So I just narrated a little bit. without the words, but it's the screen share thing, man. I'm not allowed to, get linky like you big dogs. I'm not able to get linky with you big dogs, but hold up. So where we at? Alright, we right here. Man. Alright, so this way I was at. This is what I've been reading from. I've been reading from the Britannica. One thing about the StreamYard thing, man, it's just slow. Work with me until I get my 1,000 subscribers. Oh, good though, man. I don't do this for that. I'm trying to send a message. That's it, man. Because we need this. We need the cause none other more. I'll do. So when I this is a very great invitation, and it's very to me. As a kid, and when I went to my when I'm getting back to my play no games, man. I gotta deem none other calculator for and my takes them out. The son of Avraham being Sarah, the wife of Abram. Sarah. Is so I'm belly flopping, man. I'm gonna kick back. I'm gonna give thanks to the Most High, man. For a minute, my wife, she resting, so I'm talk a little bit. Most scholars agree. So yeah, I need to bring down, anything I just read, do I have to break anything down? Pretty much I'm getting the biography of so we talking about Abraham. Yeah, Abraham. One, okay. IA most scholars agree today, Paul or Mogera, about 200 Baghdad. Double check that. One, the speaking to the descendants of Shechem. Stopping place was some time. The city has been definitely located in upper Dar's the hijack between the Dar's the hijack. All right, so it says center of the sin cult, and consequently closely related to the moon god cult or the Mari tablets. New light on the patriarchal period. Wrong. Y'all pull up a sit down, really get some of this uh spiritual uh 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 cosmic bring your soul to and not only are he but his leader are identical with the family of Benjamin, a son of Jacob, with such a biblical ring sources in the 18th century. What seems out is these Benjamites of or Yemen to their habits of patient of more and in Haram, temple of sin. I already know what we do. We ain't into all this. Wait a minute, I'm coming. So we go. Screen sharing. I ain't big dog like y'all yet. So Nimrod, Abraham. So now we know. Yeah, yeah. So it says Nimrod and Abraham, right? Nimrod's humble heritage. Yeah. So Nimrod, the mighty hunter, was one of the sons of Cush. Cush was the son of Ham, the lowest and least important of Noah's three sons, from the line which was cursed by cursed be Canaan of slaves unto his brothers. By birth, Nimrod had no right to be a king or ruler, but he was a mighty strong man and sly and tricky, and a great hunter and trapper of men and animals. His followers grew in numbers, and soon Nimrod became the mighty king of Babylon, and his empire extended over the great cities. Right? As was to be expected, Nimrod did not feel very secure on his throne. He feared that one day there would appear a descendant of Noah's heir and successor, Shem. It is Shem, and would claim the throne. He was determined to have no challenger. Some of Shem's descendants had already been forced to leave that land and build their own cities and empires. There was only one prominent member of the Semitic family left in his country. He was Terah, the son of Nahor. Terah was the eighth generation removed in the direct line of descendants from Shem. But Nimrod had nothing to fear from Terah, his most loyal and trusted servant. Terah had long before betrayed his family and had become a follower of Nimrod. All of his ancestors were still living, including Shem himself. But Terah left his ancestral home and became attached to Nimrod. Terah, who should have been the master of Nimrod, his slave, became the slave of Nimrod. Like the other people in the country, Terah believed that Nimrod received his kingdom as a gift from Hawa and was himself a Hawa. Torah was prepared to serve Nimrod with all his heart. Indeed, he proved himself to be very loyal and a useful servant. Nimrod entrusted in the hands the command of his armies and made Terah the highest minister in his land. So it says Terah was short of nothing but a wife. But a wife, Terah was short of nothing. So, but a wife. So he found himself a wife. Nothing. Okay, all right. I was like, what? Let me chill, man. So he found himself a wife whose name was Amithle. They looked forward to raising a large family, but they were not blessed with the children. The years flew by, and Terah still had no son. His father was only 29 years old when Terah, was born. But Terah closer to 70 than to 30, and yet there was no son. He prayed to Nimrod and his idols to bless him, but his prayers were not answered. Little did he know that Nimrod felt happy about Terah's misfortune. Although Terah, he could not be sure Terah's sons would be as loyal to him as his father. Therefore, he was inwardly very pleased with his servant. Terah had no children and probably would never have any. But he could not be sure. Nimrod was not taking chances. He ordered his stargazers and astrologers to watch the sky for any sign of the appearance of a possible rival, the rise of Abraham. One night, the stargazers noticed a new star rising in the east. Every night it grew brighter. They informed Nimrod. Nimrod called together his magicians and astrologers. They all agreed that it meant that a new baby was to be born who might challenge Nimrod's power. It was decided that in order to prevent this, all newborn baby boys would have to die, starting from the king's own palace down to the humblest slave's hut. See, I don't like that kind of stuff, but it's life, man. And who was to be put in charge of this important task? Why? Terra, of course, out his men, all expectant mothers. Okay. So they had to round up all the mothers that was about to have children. The king's palace was turned into a gigantic maternity ward. I bet. A lucky mother gave birth to a girl, and then they were both sent home laden with gifts. But if the baby happened to be a boy, he was put to death with no mercy. One night, Nimrod's stargazers, watching that new star, saw it grow very bright and suddenly dart across the sky. First it was one direction, then another west, east, north, and south, swallowing up all other stars in its path. Nimrod was with his stargazers on the roof of his palace and saw the strange display in the sky with his own eyes. What is the meaning of this? He demanded. There can be only one explanation. A son was born tonight who would challenge the king's power, and the father is none other than Terah. Terah, Nimrod roared, my own trusted servant. Right? Nimrod rage, right? Nimrod, we ain't gonna sit here and read about Nimrod, man. Hold on. Is it Nimrod's emerges? For 3 years, little Abraham remained in a cave where he did not know day from night. Then he came out of the cave and saw the bright sun in the sky and thought that it was Hawa who had created the heaven and the earth, and him too. But in the evening the sun went down and the moon rose in the sky, surrounded by myriads of stars. This must be Hawa, Abraham decided. But the moon too disappeared and the sun reappeared, and Abraham decided that there must be a Hawa who rules over the sun and the moon and the stars and the whole world. And so, from the age of 3 years and on, Abraham knew that there was only one Hawa, and he was resolved to pray to him and worship him alone. All praise Hawa, all praise Hawa, man. All praise Hawa, man. And his son, man. I'm a Shiach, man. Y'all already know, man. And so, from the age of 3 years and on, Abraham knew that there was only one Hawa, and he was resolved to pray to him and worship him alone. A life full of many and great adventures began for Abraham, some of which we have already related to you in our talks of past years. Man, I get it, man. Hold up. Let me find some more stuff, man. Let me see, man. See, I couldn't. Let me show y'all this other book that I'm working on getting. Y'all know I got a screen share and all that stuff, so hold up. So yeah, man, this book. I have this book, but I let my stepson read it, and I haven't seen it since. So yeah, we already know that Abraham. We're gonna dodge the hijack of that picture that we saw on that other site because we already know Abraham was melanated, man. I got some other stuff that I've been reading. Let me see if I find something now. So hold up, let's go here. So yeah, man, we gonna so we know about connect or. And we know where Or is, correct? We know that Or is in Ireland. And you gotta understand, man, that we've been scattered all over the place. So don't get it twisted about the destination. But we've been all over the place. The Most High scattered us all over the place, man. Hold up. So let me get this. So we know that was the hijack on the picture. We know that Abraham was also a Druid, right? He was with a group of brothers that were Druids. There was a situation that happened. I did a lot of reading, extensive reading on it. But let me tell you, man, one thing about these dudes, man, I'm gonna feel like this. I'm gonna say it like this. This is a whole nother situation. This situation is us on the Most High so hard that we can't do nothing but do right. We can't afford to get caught up. We know what we gotta do. We different. We are we different. We're gonna keep the code. We're gonna work out them commandments. We're gonna take care of our families, and we're gonna praise the Most High, man. Period. We know what we're gonna do. We're gonna call out them people that need to be called out. You know, shouts to Abdullah Seer. You hear me? I got it. I wanted to show the brother video, but I wanted to make sure it was cool with him first before I did that. You know, man, shouts to all y'all, man. Your brothers, y'all know, man, who y'all are, man. You hear me? Y'all know who y'all are, man. So the ancient druids, the whales. I've been reading like some information. I don't really like using these sites, you know, but just for the sake of us having something to read to go by, I have other PDFs, but for some reason they're not available on that archive yet. They're not available. Something's going on with the archive. They're not letting information get through tonight. I guess they're uh making changes on the site, whatever it is they're doing. So for the sake of us having something to read along, I'm gonna read this. So it says the ancient druids of Wales, the Welsh druids, right? We know this is what's going on. So don't be like, well, what's going on? It was all over the place, man. Us Hebrews was all over the place, man. Yeah, I did a lot of reading about the druids today. It's a heavy situation. Yeah, definitely a heavy situation. You know, the bards of Britain. Read about the bards of Britain. I read about Maurian of Wales. These druids, heavy guys, man. So it says the druids, ancient priests of Britain and Ireland, have long intrigued and kindled the imagination of large popular audiences. The stereotypical image of the white-robed wise man carrying perhaps a golden sickle and mistletoe, or clasping a white staff, remains strong with us today. The outcome of many centuries of thinking and invention. Thinking and so I'm gonna tell you, I got one of them kind of brains, man, that, you know, for a long time I've been held back because of who I am, you know. I've been held back. You know. When you come up in a very racist society, you get treated a certain kind of way. So you can imagine that I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. I've seen my dad's company go bankrupt just because he was a melanated man, right? So I'm gonna tell you, you give these melanated brothers their titles back and let them invent and think and build and with our minds, with the our struggles, our pains, our our trials and tribulations. You give us this opportunity to, you bet, man, look, not me, you bet not, cause whole time, 10 Commandments, Most High, I'm a Shiach, man, that's it, going hard, family, land, come on, man, building, growing. Yet, what evidence do we have for these powerful but elusive figures? The earliest mention of it comes before the first century. What we know about that, we BC, AD, CUD, LB, whatever, referring to Drew Day in Gaul, France, and Britain, who were wise men, observers of natural phenomena, moral philosophers, which were the bards, the bardoi, singers of the poet, and diviners, Yeats, who interpreted sciences in order to foretell the future, druids and bards. So this must be the bards of Britain. Yeah, the bards. I was reading about the bards of Britain today. Yeah, were common in medieval Welsh and Irish texts, probably give an account on a mouth by word of mouth. And I was reading something today earlier, man. It was in my phone. I'm gonna get it to y'all though. I was reading something today where they admitted that this writing from these scholars was admitting that these Welsh druids were getting the basis of their beliefs and everything that they were being taught came from America. Yeah, so I'm gonna get it. I'll get it to y'all, man. It's a lot, man. It's a lot because you had uh, um, two different belief systems as far as the Druids were concerned, right? But we'll get into it later. But let's get some more of this. So it says, okay, the visual appearance of Druids, what they wore, and what possesses they owned is difficult to clarify. There are few illustrations or inscriptions of the time, whilst archaeology rarely provides certain answers. Well, you got Stonehenge. That's one of many, right? There's a couple of them. But let's stick on Stonehenge because I've been doing a lot of work, so it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. These amen. So yeah. So you guys know about Mu. You guys know about An, right? An is where the pre-scientists, right, are going to be putting things together. going throughout the ancient world, right, to select megalithic, right, sites connecting to with the angelical physical time models, right, linking the destiny of the earth with specific programs of higher intelligence, right? I said Stonehenge, right? Stonehenge was built by the pre-scientists of On, right? These pre-scientists were druids, right? They were the mathematicians of Ur, right? Abraham, Eber, Shem, Noah, Enoch, these were all druids, right? Mm. They had the covenant. So let's keep it moving. Where we at? Where we at? Oh, God went into that, man. Just to give you a foundation of this school that about to put together. Melchizedek. You hear me? So yeah, man, all praises to the Most High, man. All praises, man. The visual appearance of the druids, what they wore, and what possessions they owned is okay. I read this. I read this. No, I didn't read this yet. It's difficult to clarify. There are few illustrations or inscriptions of the time, which archaeology rarely provided certain answers. A druid ceremony described by Pliny in his natural history describes a white-robed druid climbing an oak tree you cut down with a golden sickle. I'm just checking the brother out. Dodge the hijack of the no melanin, and then just check everything else out. All right. So let's get some more of this. Hi, well, da. What is this? In Wales, the roles and privileges of bards related to laws set down by Hywel in the 10th century AD, right? Druids came to be seen as the ancestors of the bards, the praise poets, the musicians, the genealogists who flourished in Welsh medieval society, right? I don't read no negative stuff. So Stonehenge. Some accounts suggested that the stone circles of Avebury and Stonehenge had been Druidic temples. Similarly, a number of Metholithic monuments on Anglesey were thought to be of the sacrificial altars of Druids. However, the advances in archaeological understanding during the 19th century, it became clear that these monuments were built over 4,000 years ago, man, long before the appearance of Druids. Oh, yeah, dodge the hijack. Nevertheless, modern Druids and bards continue to meet within stone circles today. Yeah, that's what you think. We all right. Dodge the high, man. Right. It's Celtic rituals of the Iron Age. Archaeologically does, however, provide evidence for the religious expression of Celtic Iron Age people. The tradition of offering gifts to the gods is illustrated at the site of Len Sirig Bach on Anglesey, where between 300, we know the dates, we all remember the dates, chariots with tools and decorated metalwork items were cast from a causeway or island into a small lake. Coincidentally, an account of Roman author Tacitus 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 vividly recounts the crushing of a Druid stronghold on Anglesey by the Roman army, leading some to infer that Lynn Career was a Druidic site. Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff, man. Yeah. The alleged Druidical temple of Tree, trial Alcocy, prepared by Reverend Henry Rawlin. So yeah, I'm just checking it out. So early 19th century speculation on how Druid ceremony might have appeared at Stonehenge. We now know that Stonehenge was built from $1,500 to hijack before the first historical reference to the Druids. See, we already know we dodged those hijacks, man. A large quantity of Iron Age metalwork was found in this lake during 1943. Yeah, man. So, we digging on the Druids and we're digging on Abraham. You know what? I'm going to do it anyway. Since I can't get linky, because I got this good thing. Yeah, so this will be digging on Abraham and the Druids. So let's get some real quick. Going this mount. Screen. We're going to get some scripture. Hold up. All right, here we go. Hebrews 7:2. Hebrews 7:2. All right. Throw this up a little bit if we can. Blow this up a little bit if we can. Come on. So the New National Version, right? Hebrews 2. And Abraham gave him first the name Melchizedek, means king of righteousness. Then also king of Salem, means peace. This thing moving. Hold up. This thing moving on me. Dodge the hijack, man. We not here, man. He's not trying to hit. Dodge the hijack, man. Hold up. I'm trying to get it back in the center again. All right, I'm just going to go other places because it's not acting right. Man, I want to read all that. All right, so it says, and Abraham approached him, king of Salem and priest of Hawa, the Most High. He met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him. And Abraham apportioned to him his name, then also of Salem, king of peace. And the New Living Translation, Abraham took a tenth of all he had captured in battle and gave it to Melchizedek. The name Melchizedek means king of justice, and king of Salem means king of peace. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom, man. All praises to the Most High, man. All praises, man. So I'm trying to find something else for y'all. You know, I'm gonna go out right here and get me some rest, because I've been doing a lot of working, reading, working. So I love y'all, family. Everybody stay focused. Everybody stay blessed. Take care of your families. Keep your head on the swivel. You know what I mean? Feed everybody with a long handle spoon. Shabbat Shalom.